like right at the beginning when you do this thing, that just takes everyone's energy and brings it into yourself. You're basically a family at that point.
We've all got to show each other our hands to say, none of us are a threat. We can work now. So my name is Maddie, I'm 25 years old and I'm from Melbourne, but I was born in Scotland.
My name is Josh, obviously. I'm from South London. I'm a dancer, I'm not a dancer, I'm just someone who likes to dance.
I'm Lilia, I'm from Cornwall and I'm an artist, contemporary dancer.
My name is Nehir Özeke, I'm from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm 19 years old. I started my BA course 3 months ago. I'm normally trained in classical ballet. I started doing contemporary and chose this as my career.
I don't have a lot of experience in dance, actually. So I was doing assisted stretching. I was a stretchologist, which was kind of like a sport thing. And I worked with a lot of dancers, and I had colleagues who were sort of physio osteos, and they suggested I should try a contemporary dance class. And so I went to a beginner's class at Pineapple Dance Studios, and I loved it. Been doing those classes for a year, maybe 3 times a week, before I auditioned here.
I was so unkeen in the beginning. Someone was like, there's a contemporary class, and I was like, I just do ballet. And then my parents were like, why don't you go? So I went, loved it, and then haven't stopped. I've managed to stick to it through times of unenjoyment, and now I'm enjoying it more than I ever have in my whole life.
Yeah, I started ballet when I was 5, but I never really took it serious. It was just like a Saturday thing, like a little hobby thing. It's only over the past maybe 5 years I started taking it proper serious. That's something I want to do. I started hip hop a couple years ago, and I feel like that's taken my style, my personal style, to a whole nother level. I feel like what I do now is mainly based on foundations from hip hop, and yeah, it's just mix of everything.
It helped that in the first session we basically just talked about 6 foundational steps: pivoting, pulling away from a contact point. And we also, we really went into the basics of movement, which really helped me understand more complex variations on the floor, doing headstands or backflips, and starting from a really basic point really helped me to put things into perspective and realizing that what we've been doing is not that different from the 6 fundamental steps, and it's applied in just another part of the space. So it really eased my way of learning.
Being aware of yourself, I feel like that's the main basis of what ground-based contemporary is, because having that awareness of your own body just makes it that much easier. And a lot of people, they won't have it straight away. I didn't have it straight away. It was through practice and just falling and gaining strength.
He tends to use flexed feet and using the outside edges of your feet to trace the floor and help you stand up and move in and out. And that's not something that's been explained or taught to me before. So I had to really adjust some habits that I'd been practicing for years.
I think one of the most monumental things about Arran's structure and the way that he's devised this class is that he doesn't need to say much in order to create an energy. We come into the space. We know what the structure's going to be. We know that you're going to walk into the space. There's going to be music playing, Arran's music. And then eventually, I'm going to start playing. And that means it's showtime. And everybody knows what they need to do in that space at that moment, right? There's very little instruction needed to be given for people to get into the space to know what they're going. Honestly, it's like some kind of telepathy, you know? And that is a really rare thing to see. That level, I only see that kind of behavior and that way of working in a lot of the OG heads, you know, where there's like this level of like supreme respect that you don't really need to say too much for stuff to start happening, right? People just get locked in. And so for Arran to have accomplished that and to have taken it and equipped that in his arsenal at the age that he's at and relatively young in the teaching game is a massive credit to him. You know, and then, you know, you have the whole technical side of it. It's no easy feat to create an entire vocabulary or to devise a technique. A lot of people struggle to do that.
So my name's Arran. I'm originally from North London. And I've been dancing and moving for, the best part of 20 years now. I first began my involvement in movement practice, first of all in the Brazilian martial art of capoeira. It's a very involved practice. It involves not just moving, but also singing, playing instruments. After that, I moved on into more kind of freer practices like hip-hop, breaking more specifically, as they kind of presented similar environments where I could use some of the skills I'd already been building, certain acrobatic elements, this call and response kind of idea. Something seemed similar, so I really enjoyed it. But it also kind of took away some of the rules that were involved in capoeira and kind of left me to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with these skills and abilities. I'm very lucky to work in dance-based institutions now, and I've always had the belief that students should understand that there's a huge possibility for them to make their way in this world and understand that they can provide for themselves, live as an adult and make people around them proud using nothing than their raw materials. And in some environments and institutions, I have the responsibility of introducing that idea of how to make a career out of yourself in dance. And in some areas and environments, my role is more to contrast some of the more traditional ideas about what dance and the world might want from you. I feel like my experiences and the course that I provide, the environment I'm able to give the students, can help them really meet these two understandings that can be very confusing and help them to just realize their own simple answer to these big questions that are coming about in their life. So the point of all of this is, I really want to provide people with the physical and creative skills to just let their ideas flow through them and realize that their ideas have value. And in this ever-changing world that can feel like it's really restrictive on our young people and that it asks for certain qualities from them, I would love to transmit this idea that if you can open yourself up to the many possibilities of who you could be, if you can find a way to master those many sides of yourself and be sensitive in any environment that you find yourself in, there really is a way to authentically make your way through this world and to succeed.